All right, guys, today is finally the day that I grow up just a tad bit and change my exhaust. So I got all of this fab stuff here. I got some 90s, some extra 90s, some tips, which are gonna look pretty sweet. Got the right flanges and some more pipe over there. And we're gonna run this exhaust out like this, down through, and come out the bottom of the fender right here. So by the end of this video, that should be fabbed up. The first step, I'm gonna get these flanges welded on these 90s. So these will bolt back right on the back side of the turbo. And then we'll set up the second 90 pointing towards the edge of the fender. All right, here's the moment that I've been kind of regretting. I got my hole saw bit, and it's time to just send her.
He done did it now.
Yep. New drill. Hey.
Wow, this drill sucks.
Hey.
Wow, the whole cut, it was sketchy as hell, just like I thought it was gonna be. We got the tip positioned. I think we're gonna go like something like this. We got this 90 stuck in there, and that's what this is gonna hook on to. We got that marked, so it's pointing right up to this one where that other 90 is gonna come down. So I'll make this cut. All right, so this is where I get a little bit over my head. I'm trying to get this next 90 coming off the backside of the turbo like this, and I'm trying to get it pointed towards the fitting that's gonna go right down there, but I need to get that angle right and then cut another pie shape out of that. I know some of you guys are gonna laugh how I'm using a grinder for everything, but man, look at that cut though. I got her figured out pretty good for not having the right tools. Not bad for a rookie. That's gonna sit like that, and as you can see, that angle is pointing right down towards there where my hole comes out. Got that mark. I'm almost ready to tack that thing in place and then cut that pipe that goes straight down through there. This is honestly going way better than I expected. Well guys, I think it's finally time to take my inner fenders out. You save a little bit of weight there, not a whole lot. This freaking inner fender is kicking my ass. I got it all bent up. I'm freaking taking half the car apart just to try to get them out. So I'm at the point now where I'm just gonna take the grinder and cut it in half. There's probably a better way to take it out of there, but I don't feel like taking the fender off and all that anyway, and I'm probably not gonna put the inner fender back in. And if I wanna put it back in, then I'll just buy new ones, or I'll fabricate some nice ones up that are completely different than the factory ones anyway, because they suck. You guys give me all the heat you want, I'm cutting them in half. So anyway, I started cutting. Well, I told you guys, I cut that thing right in half, and it made it so much easier to get out, but now it looks really funny. I've never seen it without the inner fender like that. Well, I guess when I painted it, I did, but get that other one out and we'll continue fabbing those pipes up. Okay, so I got this little piece tacked up. It basically comes out to like a 45, I'm pretty sure, but that's gonna go right like that. So you can see my Sharpie mark where those two line up, and it goes right down there, and you can see the other pipe. I ran out of hands here, but that pipe is gonna sit like that, and then with the tip coming out, I mean, obviously not at that angle, but a straight shot. So I'm gonna tack weld this piece to that where my Sharpie mark is. All right, well, it's in there. It actually looks better than I expected. I didn't know if I was gonna like that sharp of a bend into a straight section like that, but honestly, I kind of like it. So we'll see if we can get that bottom piece down there. So like I was talking about, going like that, which that looks like it's gonna be pretty decent. I can shorten this pipe so then the tip isn't sitting out as far. We might be onto something here. All right, one side is all fabbed up. As you guys seen, it was sitting in there. So now is what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these pieces and measure them out and mark them on the other pieces. So hopefully I'm pretty close to where I need to be, and I can cut those, and then I'll cut the length of straight pipe, and I'll cut this length of like whatever that piece, whatever you want to call that end piece. It'll be the same angles and cuts, but then the only thing that'll be different is this last piece, instead of turning that way, it'll turn this way. Hopefully that works out. I cut this piece right here, and I thought I cut it way too short. So then I gave up for a while, and then I ground the tacks back off and started forming it a little bit better, and turns out I'm good to go. So now I got a second wind here, and I got this piece fabbed up now. So I'm gonna tack this one in there. We'll be ready to do that last and final piece where the tip hooks onto. All right guys, so this side is almost there. I got this last piece to do, which is the one that transitions into the tip, and it is by far the hardest one. To get that angle to go up there and meet that piece right there, but then not look like this coming out of the hole is unreal hard to do. Need to get this one to look like that one over there somehow. So I think I need to cut a little bit off at the end of this pipe right here. So then hopefully it sucks it up in there and then it gives me my right angle. So in an attempt to get that piece to work, that one right there, I cannot make it happen. So what needs to be done is this pipe needs to point that way just a little bit more. Direction isn't right, the angle is. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this tack off right here and then the tack on the backside here, and I'm gonna move it from that mark to that mark, and that should get me to where I need to be. It only took about 6 hours to get this last piece done, but it's there and it looks nice. I'm happy with it. So we're gonna take this stuff off, and then we're gonna go over to my buddy Sykes's because he knows how to TIG weld, whereas I don't. And he's gonna try to teach me a thing or two. And all right, guys, after a couple hours of welding and me failing miserably and Sykes having to do it all, we're about to start this thing up. See what this thing sounds like finally. I am beyond excited. Also, I should mention that the tips are not welded on yet, so if they come flying off, that's why. Well, I'm sure you guys see in the video, this tip kept falling off. So I'm gonna get these things positioned the way they need to be, tack those tips on, start it back up, and we're gonna take this thing for a drive to see how much quieter it is in the cab. It should be a hell of a lot quieter than what it was before. That is if we make it to the gas station. So far, she is 10 times quieter. The loudest thing in here is the freaking fuel pump. Well guys, I'll insert a clip here of an old video of me driving this thing with the exhaust coming out and running all crazy. Running good, sounds really good. I don't know if you guys can necessarily tell how much quieter it is, but man, it's a hell of a lot better in here. You can actually have a decent conversation with the person sitting in the passenger seat now, so that's pretty nice. But I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the fabrication video. Got kind of an exciting idea coming for next week's video. We're gonna see what kind of fuel mileage this thing makes.